My top 5 tips for growing your business through Facebook and social media in general. Facebook, first one is video. Use video as much as you can. 60-70% of content watched on, looked at on social media is video. Everybody watches video these days. So put videos out there, whether it's a live video or an actual video, just get it out there. One thing I always recommend is put subtitles on it, because a lot of people do watch videos without volume, especially if you're on like the train going to work or on the bus. So tip 1 is use as much video as possible, whether that's live video or just snippets of videos. Tip 2 is make sure you use multiple photos at once. So Facebook grids things that are really nice for you, so don't be afraid to put more than one picture at a time. That can obviously help you get a message out there. You can always do, if you do them informative, educational, you can do the swipe feature. So put 5 photos up, people obviously go on through. It looks great with Instagram as well. That's a bit of a tip for both. Tip number 3, use Facebook groups. Facebook groups are amazing. There's so many groups out there for business, for networking, for looking for inspiration, whatever it is. There is a Facebook group out there for you. Just make sure you're using it right and adding value in there. Commenting on other people's stuff, getting involved. Don't feel like you need to sell stuff, especially in these networking groups. Look to see what content's going on. If it's just an advert spam, like there's a couple of local ones to me, and there's a social media person and she just spams the post and then she posts again and gets no engagement, and then was asking why. That's purely because not commenting, not getting involved with things. So make sure when you're in groups, getting involved and you comment on people's stuff and you're just being a human being and being personal. Point 4, pin a post on your Facebook page. If you're using a Facebook page or a group, pin a post, pin the most popular one you've got. If you've got 100 likes on something, pin that to the top. Pin an informative one, because that way people are going to go onto it and see it, and it's going to be the first post that pops up. So a lot of people forget about it, and often you'll go on in like July, August time, and it's a Christmas post about Christmas opening times, and they forgot to change it. Don't do that. Do it where it's informative. Use a video. So if you've got a brand video, which if you've not, make sure you get a brand video. Make sure it's pinned to the top. Make sure people can see it as soon as they go on your page. That is one of the biggest ones. Tip number 5 is make sure you completely set up your page as well with all your details, everything on there, website link, photos, cover photo, profile picture, username, everything like that. Make sure people have got the details, because you'll find often now, if people are waiting for a way to work out to go to a restaurant or something like that, they're not going to go to Google, they're not going to go to your website. They'll go to your Facebook page, because that's where people update stuff. So for example, with COVID and everything like that, people going onto Facebook pages to see whether places were open or not, what times they were open, because obviously we had short staff, there was short food demand. So make sure everything's updated, make sure you're updating things regularly. So if you are closing early or if you're open on a different day, hit on a Facebook post and update your Facebook page. So for Instagram, 5 top tips really quickly. First one, stories. Make sure you are using stories on Instagram. It's what everybody watches now. I don't remember the last time I scrolled through my feed. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Stories is the one thing that I always check out. The more people view stories as well, the more likely you appear at the front of people's stories. You always get a lot more of engagement as well, because people reply to the stories. You can do quizzes, you can do polls, you can do so much with stories. So use there's no real limit. Make sure you're doing up to like 10 a day. Get them out there, people engage with them, people watch them, and that is where you'll get the most replies and the most engagement and feedback. Point number 2 is Reels. So Instagram wants to be a video platform. They don't want to be known for posting pictures, they want to be known for their videos. They tried it by IGTV, didn't work as well. Instagram Reels is like TikTok. It is the version of TikTok on Instagram, so make sure you're using them. Make sure you're using them as well as making sure you use them as like wow. Make sure they're informative and educational, funny, anything like that. Because you remember you got 3 seconds for a video for somebody to go, okay, I'm going to watch this. So for example, Harriet, who works obviously head of digital marketing here, she did how your Instagrams could look, some different aesthetics, kind of words out today. She did one that went viral, 100,000 views like that, purely because people were loving it and getting engaged with it. So make sure you're doing Instagram Reels, play around with them to start with, and then start to practice and get better and better. Tip number 3 is make sure you are using hashtags when you do post, including Reels, including videos, not stories. So the ideal number at the moment is between 5 and 10. It does change often, and I can't give you the right answer, but the research we've done recently, which we do often, is 5 to 10 hashtags out there. Make sure they're niche down as well, so don't just use business. Niche down, where are you? Who do you want as an ideal client? Remember, these hashtags are to look for your ideal client. They're terms that people search. They're going to appear in the explore page if they're related to that person. So don't relate them to you, relate them to who your ideal client is, and niche down as much as possible. Point number 4, make sure you reply to all of your comments. Ignore if you get any spammy ones, but make sure you're replying. If somebody replies to you, reply back to them. And that also links to another point, bonus point, tip, is make sure your audience building. So audience building, go through your ideal client hashtags, comment on their photos, get engaged. So if your ideal client's posted something about going on holiday, their lunch or something, comment on it and be generic as well. Don't just go, oh, wow, cool, thank you, great, whatever. Come and have a conversation about, oh, yeah, I love chicken. I love having that, and that. Have you tried this on you? Have you tried this, cooking this with your chicken? Be human, because the first thing they can do is go, wow, I only get 2 comments normally, and this person's commenting on my photo, great. Then they're gonna go back and obviously, and then see what you do, see your Instagram feed, see your website, everything like that. Point number 5, the final one, is get your personality across on Instagram. So this is using your stories, use your personality, be human, get your point across, just have a bit of fun and be yourself, because people know if you pretend to be somebody you're not. Be who you are. It's like I'm in these videos, I mess up all the time, I still post it. Be who you are, but use your personality. Tip number 1 is post every day, multiple times a day. TikTok, you can't post too many. 3 times a day, 2 times a day, whatever it is. Post multiple times a day, get into the algorithm, and you'll smash it out there. So again, obviously TikTok's video based. Post 2-3 times a day. Post number 2, use trending hashtags. Use TikTok, search TikTok, look at it, use the trending hashtags. Why is it trending? Use it. It might even inspire you to use a video or just use it. A lot of people do. You'll see a lot of time where somebody talk about one thing and they've used a trending hashtag purely just to help with the algorithm. Do that and don't be scared to do it. Tip number 3, use trending audio. Same as hashtags. Use the trending audios. Look at the audios that are about to go crazy. So the audio that's got a couple of videos on it that's already got a lot of likes, jump on that, use that sound, because you will appear in people's news feeds. If you're a big user of TikTok like I am and you are watching it however long a day, I'm not going to admit how much I watch TikTok, but if you do, you'll notice that you'll hear the same sound 4 or 5 times, even in a row or in a short amount of time. So use trending audios, it's easy to search. Tip number 4, take part in trends. There's so many trends out there, don't get me wrong, some are dancing, don't need to do dancing though. But there's other trends out there. There is ones where people use a certain clip of a sound, do a certain thing, there's a funny thing that's happened, they'll then create that. So do take part in trends. It'll be it's the easier way to go viral. Tip number 5, the final one, is duet and stitch other people. So one of the biggest accounts on TikTok right now is somebody that I found a couple months ago, and I'm really glad that I did find him there. So basically he gets a popular video and it'll be when somebody asks a question. He then duets it, he will say something funny for the duet, he'll give you a random fact and then end it with now you know. And it is the funniest thing ever. So literally somebody will appear. So the question at the moment, the big questions at the moment are sort of like, one the other day was what's a bad pizza topping? And he will say pineapple, and then he goes, did you know, give you a fact, and ends it with now you know, and then looks away. So genius. And that is one where he's gone viral by stitching people off random now and like duet stitch other people.